Join discord.gg/flatearth and enter a check-in room. Someone will come along and verify you to get involved in the conversation about our Earth.
So, I'm just going to introduce Bones of Doom.
Where's Bones? That's a hell of a name, man.
He's a round earther, which I thought
we hadn't figured out whether he actually was talking. Maybe he pear-shaped. No, I was actually.
He's all right. He's got a few questions to ask. So, if if Mr. Muffin just wants to have a little break, and we can come back to you as well, that would see what questions he's got.
Shout out to Muffin, man.
Shout out to Muffin. Shout out. Big ups to Muffin.
See, when
Bones,
people
you want to chime
talk respectfully to each other, the conversation goes a hell of a lot better.
Facts.
Bones of Doom. You can open your mic and ask away.
How'd the check-in go, Bones?
Bones, how'd the check-in go, man? Oh, he just muted up. Uh-oh. He's definitely on the globe side, man. He knew some stuff, but he was mostly interested in buoyancy and density.
Okay.
Yeah, he was bringing a little bit of interesting language to
that ties into Mr. Muffin's questions too. So
right. That's why I thought I would bring them both in. Hey, Bones, what's going on, mate?
He said he's suppressed. You should have access to your mic, buddy. Let me just double check.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, it happens.
Good man.
Hey, Bones, how'd the check-in go, man? How did we do over there?
I think I survived.
No, how did we do? I don't give a fuck how you did.
My bad.
Just
I'll seem friendly.
It was good, right? Okay, cool. Carry on.
7 out of 10. Good onboarding experience.
You had an idea about buoyancy, density?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah, so I have a question for those who believe in the density model of how we are kind of like not connected, on how we are attracted to the ground of sorts.
Oh shit!
And this,
we talked about
that. And so I've developed this hypothetical question here. So
you're talking about an unproven theory of electrostatics, aren't you?
I'm not talking about electrostatics right here. I'm just talking about pure density. So let's say that there's like a ball of like an indeterminate mass, but it's more dense than the air around it. Let's say that this ball is in a box with said air. Now this box, it's like it's got like the equivalent dimensions in all directions and all that jazz, and it's just filled with air, uniform density air. Where does that ball fall?
Down. Where else?
But where's down in this case? Because I didn't specify like any coordinate plane of sorts.
Directly 90 degrees down from level. That's where it's going to go.
Well, you said the box, right? So the box would be setting on something. And
this box is floating.
Oh, how is it floating?
Okay.
It's just
kind of a crazy hypothetical, my man.
Yeah, this box is just floating.
So we've got like an ominous box floating with another thing floating. I mean, this is a little crazy. How do you plan on cashing this in terms of like the Earth?
Well, for one, I'm trying to get at what you guys mean by down in this case. So what is this concept?
What sets a downward bias, right? What sets why down, right? That's what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, why down?
We can highlight the
90 as opposed to up, forward, back, left, right.
Why are you a human?
Any other directions?
You know what level is?
How is that relevant to the question?
He's asking an unanswerable question. That's what he's doing. He's asking why is down, why is up. You just go ask the person that made the Earth the way it is. Go ask them. Like that's not.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not a question. Nobody in here can answer that. It's just.
Well, so what you're saying is that the ball will go down, but you don't have a solid concept of what down is.
No.
Down is down. Down is 90 degrees from level. 90 degrees down from level. That's what down is.
Well, let's highlight
always is, always will be. We don't know the cause of it.
So then, in this case, why is that the case? Can you physically describe what is happening?
In the dictionary.
Yeah, you lift something up and you drop it and it goes down 90 degrees from level. Yeah, what? So what?
But why is it going down as opposed to any other direction?
Can we just highlight the difference? Because for you guys, like for someone that's Team Globe, right? They're saying that down is inward or towards the center.
Right. Yeah. Normally, when someone means down, it's towards a center of mass.
But that's not normal. I would say that's just the Globe belief.
Yeah,
but
in
reality,
that's what I'm talking about.
In.
When I say, like, normally,
I don't know if that's normal. I don't know if that's normal.
Okay. So what people mean when they're on the Team Globe, what they mean by down is down relative towards like the center of some sort of larger object. That's what we mean by down.
Yeah, but for like
in this
so
case,
in terms of flat Earth,
relative term.
For flat Earth, brother, down is the same for you and me, regardless of where you are. There's only one down.
So then my question is, why does it go down as opposed to any other direction?
But
I'd like to ask you a question, Bones. I'd like to ask you, when have you seen things be attracted to the center of a large mass?
I see it all the time whenever I drop something.
No, that's not you actually observing the claim, because that's the claim. You're not actually observing your claim.
Actually, because I know that the Earth is a large, heavy object.
When you have
all that I drop is a small object.
You're reporting a belief
with very little mass. Now, if we're going with Newtonian physics, with like the two object problem here. That ball is going to accelerate towards the Earth, and the Earth is going to accelerate towards it.
So, baked into that claim is a claim about what the Earth is, right? So let's just go to that and find out how you know what the Earth is. Timbo, go ahead.
Oops. Yeah, no, I just
beg your pardon.
So you need for you to say that because you drop things and they go to the center of mass, you need a ball for that. So what you need for that is you need to measure drop over distance. So have you ever done that to realize that you live on a ball? Or are you just assuming you live on a ball, things go directly down, so therefore they go to center of mass?
So I make the assumption that Newtonian physics is like a accurate representation of that.
Ooh, Newtonian physics.
Yeah.
Then we're not moving. But anyway, the question was, how do you know it's a ball?
How do I know that it's a ball?
Correct.
Yep.
Well, I can test a lot of things here. How do we know that the Earth is a ball?
Just
I can
one.
Go towards. Oh yeah, sure. So we have satellites that orbit.
No.
And these satellites. No. Hold on.
Wait.
Let me finish. Finish. I didn't finish my sentence.
But here, what we can't do is just scattergun 15 things at once. We got to stick to one at a time. So we can start with your satellite. We got to drill into that. So you would agree that
I never finished my sentence. You said that there are satellites.
What are you going to do? Hold on. You can't just spam a bunch of things. We know the claim that satellites are in orbit, but that's what we're trying to address now. So that claim is dependent on a radius value, because I'm sure you would agree that they don't just spray and pray this technology up into the sky, right?
I agree. They live stream the Earth.
Well,
they're satellites.
Hold on. You're missing the point here. So because they're not spraying and praying technology up in the sky, that means they've measured the Earth to know how much it needs to orbit and so on and so forth, right? So it's based on the size of the Earth. It's based on a radius value. Because they're not just spraying this technology up into the sky and hoping it works. So that's dependent on this radius. So we would need to, that's the foundation of that claim. You don't just get satellites without this globe first. So yeah, we would need that radius.
How'd they get that radius?
Yeah.
How'd they get the radius that your orbital mechanics claim is based on?
So do you want to go with like a more modern, like
let's go with whatever you got.
Well, brother, if you told me how tall you are, it doesn't matter if your techniques were ancient or modern, but as long as they actually verify how tall you are.
I mean, okay, sure. So after this, I really want to get back to the density problem because I don't believe that I had a sufficient answer for that. But
we're actually talking to density problem because you said that things drop to the center of mass.
Right. There's like information within Newtonian physics.
Oh, I thought it was attraction.
Well, gravity itself is a force.
You said Eratosthenes, right?
Yeah, Eratosthenes, yeah.
So we've got shadows, 2 different points on the surface, 2 different length shadows. That tells you that the surface is curving. How?
Wait, hold on.
That's great.
I'm sorry. Is this like
you're asking if how we know it's like curved?
He's googling it.
No.
Well, I mean,
no. So I already have this information pulled up. So how we know that it's curved is that we can observe from two different. But
that wasn't the question. That wasn't the question.
Well, I'm not let me finish.
No, you're not answering the question.
Let me finish.
No, it's not about finishing. We're trying to stop you from being like you're not even on the right. You're not answering the right question. Remember, I gave you an example. If you told me how tall you are, you're like, well, what method do you want? Any method, as long as that's measured, it's verifying how tall you are via measurement. So
maybe go ahead.
Going back to the experiment here, there are 2 different like shadows taken at different latitudes, and the way that this works, the way that we know that it's round, is because the only way we would be able to do this is if we see different angles.
Really?
Of shadow that the shadows project.
So you're saying that on a flat surface... Wait, so just to clarify, you're saying that on a flat surface, we cannot have different angles to a single light source.
Yeah, but those angles on a flat surface would be wildly different.
Well, why would they be wildly different? What would they be instead? Actually, what are they? What are they, and what would they be instead?
Because on a flat Earth, you're dealing with a flat plane, relatively speaking, and with that,
so the angles. So the angles would be different than what they are. What are they?
What do you mean?
What are the angles?
What's your angle?
I don't think that's necessarily.
So you don't know what the angles are, but you do know that if the surface is flat, they would be something other than what they are.
I don't think that the angles, the exact angles, are relevant here, but I know that they're.
Well, they are relevant because your claim is they wouldn't be what they are, but you don't know what they are. So how can you say that?
Purely speculation.
Yeah, I definitely don't accept the idea, like especially new folks saying like, well, if it was flat, it should be like blah 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 blah. Like I mean, someone in the chat called it, said insert strawman, but I'm surprised that you're going for the Eratosthenes thing. This is a bit inconclusive. Even the people that have been arguing for globe Earth for many years now, they don't even use this. It's something people will Google. How do they measure the Earth? And this is like the first thing that comes up. So I'm surprised that you would go for this when people who have been debating for a long time understand that this isn't very conclusive.
All right.
And it's also not a direct measurement either, is it? It's like if I wanted to know how tall you are, I wouldn't measure your shadow. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you know what though, it is a direct measurement, just not of the thing that we're looking for. It's a direct measurement of shadow angles, not a direct measurement of the curvature that we're trying to get to.
Yeah, in a linear fashion.
And it's based off of a lot of assumptions as well. It's based off of one, they're going in assuming the Earth is already a sphere, and they're assuming things about the sun and its rays being parallel, and so on and so forth. So this whole Eratosthenes thing has been thoroughly fleshed out. It's actually not very... Even if I was Team Globe, I wouldn't be presenting it as evidence for curvature.
All right, so in that case, we can just move off of that and let's go back to the density argument. I still haven't gotten an idea of what down means to you guys and how that physically is represented.
Can I answer that really quick, and then you can move on to something else? Yeah. Why do you have the chromosomes that you have?
What do you mean? Why do I have the chromosomes? Do I have?
That you're asking us essentially the same question. Why do you have the chromosomes that you do have?
I could just I could just point to like evolution and how.
Yeah, why is that?
Time is the complexity of organisms increased that somewhere along the line there's like genetic information that got passed out.
And why did that happen?
Why did that happen? What do you mean?
Right. And why?
It's just like something that naturally occurred.
And why did it naturally occur?
Oh my god.
Do I need to know why it naturally
you see where he's getting at though, Bones? You see what he's kind of pointing out?
What he just said. That's where he's trying to get you. Well, why would I need to know why it does that?
I mean,
right?
is it because in this case, my answer would then be that the reason why it naturally occurs is that these new organisms need to adapt to new environments, and that as these organisms get more complex.
And why is it an organism? Why is it an organism?
Yeah, dude, this has gone way weird.
Why is it an organism?
Right.
I mean that's the mouth sound that we've produced to name anything that's.
And why did we do that?
We as humans seek to put mouth.
Why is it a human?
In order.
You see the problem? I can just keep why. There's no real answer. It's just kind of like this is the concept we have. This is something we're just going to agree on.
Notice how when I talk about this, that there's some sort of explanation to things. But when you say something like down, you don't have a physical.
No, but you could. But see, notice how you were just throwing things at a wall.
You're going down a direction of sorts. And you're saying that direction is down, but you have no physical representation of what down is.
Well, the problem is you do, though. You've got a physical... you have a representation of what down is, right? Yeah, but hold on.
Thing that we can, like...
Yeah, it's not something that's physically happening, though, because when you describe what down is, you're invoking a ball, which you failed to demonstrate in reality. We asked you, well, how do you know that it's towards the center of a ball? We asked for... Stop it. Just stop. Hold on. Just stop. Hold on. Because that's what you did, right? Your explanation of what down is, what causes it, invoked a ball, right?
No, I don't need a ball to talk about Newtonian physics. With the body problems.
Okay, but that's the topic of the server, right? So maybe you want to go to somebody who has a specific claim about what you want to talk about, but what we're trying to do is establish the dimensions, or lack thereof, of the Earth.
Yeah, we're actually looking to drill into the foundation, because I have a picture of a basket of cables. I joke about how this is almost like Glober claims, like a basket of Glober claims. Bunch of USBs and box chargers, all this stuff. And you can plug things into each other, but none of them are plugged into the wall. They don't have any power. It's just a basket of loose cables. So what you're going to try to do, and I'm not trying to be offensive here, but it's like we watch people do this all the time. They're trying to connect USB to a box charger, but they're not actually plugging it into getting any power. So what we're trying to help you do is actually plug it into the power so you can build off the power. So until you actually get to like the Earth being a globe or the radius or whatever, you don't have any power. So this like, well, what about down? What are you going to do? Where are you going to cash that in?
So yeah, the reason why I'm asking what about down is that under my model, under what I understand to be Newtonian physics, I can describe the attraction of two objects going towards each other, and I can describe this force as gravity. What you're telling me is that down itself is some sort of force that attracts some object.
That's not even the globe model, though.
I was going to say you're out of date.
I'm talking about Newtonian physics. Yeah,
I know you are. That's what I'm saying. That's not even the globe model. Their model claims space-time. It's a whole different claim of gravity. And what's it got to do with What's it got to do with the conversation here?
Space-time is a bit more of a complex thing that has.
It's a totally different claim for gravity.
Interstellar objects. Right. But when we're talking about when we're talking about more basic things like this, Newtonian physics describes pretty well.
Why? Why? And how does it relate back to the server topic? Right? Like, where are we going with this, and how is it getting us back to the server topic?
Well, the topic that I proposed was about density, and y'all's answer for why an object goes down is because it goes down.
That wasn't the answer. You were asking, like, what is down? Well, down is the same.
Yeah, I'm asking what down is. I'm asking for some sort of physical representation.
That the ground below you? I mean, Why is this so confusing?
Well, no, I'm asking for the physics that quantifies this force known as down.
There's no force because, like, even in the current, like he was trying to tell you, this whole Newtonian gravity being a force, this is out of date. This is like expired. I mean, I can play some clips for you.
Reality.
Okay, wait. So
it's not a force.
If there's an old model that still provides like a good amount of explanative power,
it doesn't. It's not even.
Or like
listen.
Or basic.
George Musser.
Okay.
George Musser is the gentleman who writes for Scientific American. I think he's actually been promoted to the God dang it. Not the author, but the director of this Scientific American. Here's him talking about gravity, Newtonian gravity.
Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force.
And I think I have another one too. It's just real quick.
That doesn't mean it really is, but now we don't necessarily need to work at the really is level.
And I think, sorry, that's part of one of two.
It's really hard to hear. Just so you know.
Of Newtonian gravity as a force. Gravity is.
Sorry, I mean it might come in low. I have it on my phone, but essentially he's saying that Newtonian gravity, it's not a force, and it's not. We're not even working on the really is level when it comes to this Newtonian gravity. They've moved on over 100 years ago onto Einstein's bending and warping of space-time. So it's not just, it's more complex. It's been superseded and replaced.
Hey, excuse me?
Yeah. Hey, what's going on?
Do you have the source for like where he said that? Because those clips kind of sound out of context.
Yeah. Let me grab I have it on my phone. I gotta find my phone somewhere. It's sitting around here somewhere. But look up George Musser. And so this is what's funny, Glue or Muffin. George Musser. This clip was from him on a show called Fight the Flat Earth. He's speaking to a gentleman who is very much against the flat earth. So he was going there to educate the guys on what to say when they come here. He's saying, because they're like, well, gravity's a force, right? He's like, well, actually, it's not a force, but you can think of it as a force, but that doesn't mean it really is. And so I gotta find my phone. It's sitting around here somewhere. But he was doing an interview with a very much anti-flat earther. So he wasn't talking to flat earthers. He was talking to globe earthers about how to go and speak to flat earthers. So it's very important. He's educating you guys on what to say. Gravity's not a force, so stop saying it's a force.
Well, then I'd have to ask you this: why should I trust him over everyone else?
Well, that's a good question.
The same information.
We have a show we do called Under the Bus. So what's funny is the guy's name is Fight the Flat Earth, right? He's fighting the flat Earth, and so they go and appeal to George Musser. They're asking him, "Hey, what should we say? What should we do?" So, but what's funny is like when we present that back to you guys, you throw him under the bus. Oh, well, forget him. It's like, what the hell, man?
Well, it's
in one breath he's the guy, and then the next breath he's trash.
Well, it's not necessarily like throwing him under the bus, but it's like it's more on the lines of like, why should I believe him over the countless?
Well, why should you believe anything? What is it that you believe, and why should you believe that?
That's not really how information.
You got to get out of the. You got to get out of the.
But that's not really how information works. We all.
What is it that you believe, though?
What do you question?
It doesn't.
Are you questioning
just believe
gravity is not a force, or what are you questioning about this?
No, I just want the source for that video. Those clips sounded out of context.
Well, when he says gravity is not a force, like that's fairly accepted. If that's what you're questioning,
I'm just
that's along the lines of space-time. That's a standard claim, though. It's not a force. It's a pseudo force. It's the bending and warping of space-time. That's Einstein, right? That's just a fact. Yeah.
Sorry, Muffin. You're hitting some of my pet peeves here, my man. I think it's funny. Like, I have another a role called a Globe Whisperer. Okay, George Musser is speaking plain English here. The clips are not cut up or edited or anything. The only reason they're chopped up is because the soundboard only has a limit of 5 seconds. On my soundboard here, it's 20. So let me play the longer version here for you. But they're not edited for like to make us sound better or anything. Here's part of it.
Gravity is not a force, but you can think of it as a force.
All right, so I mean, he's speaking plain English there. Did you say it's out of context, or what are you trying to say?
Well, I would just need to see the video in its entirety. I don't think that taking a 5 second clip from.
Well, did you see the citation from the physics textbook that I just posted in the live stream voice text?
See, that's not the video. That's what
I'll get you. Listen, I gave you the name. I can find the link for you. I'll try to. But the guy's name is George Musser, and he's speaking to Fight the Flat Earth. So I'll try to go to YouTube and try to find that link for you. But again, this is a gentleman who writes for Scientific American. I think he's actually he's promoted. He's higher up now.
It's not just one guy though either.
Educating.
It's a scientific consensus. So I think nobody mentioned that. It's not just him that says that. It's the whole community of people. So you would essentially be disagreeing with the entire scientific consensus, which we encourage, but that's what your claim is.
That's why I just posted what I posted, right? That's what it'll say in physics textbooks too. That's the claim.
So are you guys saying that the majority of science corroborates that the Earth is flat?
That's not the conversation we just had.
We're mixing up categories and stuff at this point. So let's start slow. We'll get you that link. Well, I'm not sure if I hate to say it, but I'm not sure if you actually know what science truly is at this point, but we can definitely teach you. I'm going to get this. I'm going to try to find this link for you just so you don't have to hear it from me, but Fight the Flat Earth. Thank you, Flatsy. I think that's the link there. But just so you know, he's educating very high up Globers on how to debate flat earthers. So we're just playing the clip back to you guys as well. It's like, don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me. But this whole Newtonian gravity thing is out of date. You guys got to get that Einstein DLC.
Well, do they understand that by claiming Newtonian gravity that they're throwing out the solar system? It's part of the reason why it was superseded. It's not compatible with the solar system.
All right.
Well, right. It doesn't match the orbit of Mercury around the sun.
I'll check
Couldn't
this
get it
out,
in square.
And I'll get back to you guys.
So I guess go ahead and have your Newtonian mechanics. It's not good for heliocentrism, though. That's why the heliocentrists superseded it.
And I want to say to Muffin real quick, too. You got to get out of this mode of... I'll be real quick. You want to get out of this mode of just believing people. Okay, even us. Just because someone says something, like the goal is to go and check to see if what people are saying is true. So it's not like, oh, well, George Musser said it, so it's true. Go and check to see if what he's saying is true.
Yeah.
Go and check to see if what we're saying is true. So you got to get out of this, like, well, he said it, so it's true. Like, don't do that with us either.
And the funny thing was, like, he just said, CB just said it was George Musser, right? And then Heretic posted an actual citation backing it up. You should be looking at the citation, not looking for the video of George Musser. Yeah, because that is the citation. There is something backing that citation. Well, don't worry about a video where someone says something.
Well,
if someone posts a citation for you, then read the citation.
Well, he cited the video, like he played a clip from the video, so I just wanted to see the video.
Yeah, and then someone put in better evidence in a citation, so you should go straight for the better evidence, and then go...
I just wanted the video, thank you.
Okay, so, and then you go, you're saying, oh, I don't care about the citation, I just want the video. So you're not actually looking at the most important things.
Well, why are you guys not presenting the most important things?
Well, we just put it in there, didn't we?
Well, because
it's a flow we're trying to address too, yeah? It's like how the conversation flows. CB was talking to you about something, put in a funny video, and then Heretic put in a citation. So it's a flow of conversation. It's like you don't just come out with an atom bomb.
That video is used to argue a point.
No.
And that
listen.
point was backed by the citation I gave. What is the problem here?
Exactly.
Muffin, I don't know if you're following along, brother, but Bones has brought up the topic.
If you're going to present information, I need a source for it. Like
I gave it to you.
Okay. So to help the source is actually the source of the video.
Hold on. We got to get something straight here. Our friend Bones has brought up the topic. He wants to talk about density. He brought up Newtonian gravity. So we're we're at this point we're just trying to address his claims and make sure that what he's presenting is coherent and consistent with. He's like claiming, oh, well, this is my model. Well, we're just correcting him. This is actually what your model claims, and so I played the clip. It's not flat earther evidence. It's not proof of a flat earth. It's like, if you're on the Team Globe, this is what this is the claim. So if you don't want to hear it from me, you can hear it from George. If you don't want to hear it from George, you can hear it from a citation. But at this point, we're not even talking flat earth. We're trying to help you on what you're supposed to believe.
So going back on Einstein's theory versus Newtonian physics, the reason why we go for Einstein's theories later on is because they do not break down under large, very fast objects. Whereas under Newtonian physics, the equations and predictions that would be made would be less accurate than Einstein's model.
They're not applicable in
new. But of course, this isn't to say that Newton's laws are necessarily like inaccurate or like the information itself is bad. It's just that there's a limit to that.
It's just that it's not compatible with
that can be superseded by Einstein.
It's just that Newton's not compatible with heliocentrism.
It's not compatible with very large, very fast objects.
It's not compatible, right? It's not compatible with a rotating reference frame, as laws of motion aren't, right? So if you want to go with those,
I'd say that
rotating reference frame. No,
I'd say that Newton's theories held up relatively well when it comes to like small bodies orbiting like
they hold up
bodies
fine for practical use in inertial reference frames, which a spinning ball is not. So do you want to go with that?
Do what? Say that again.
They hold up fine for practical use in inertial reference frames, which a spinning ball is not. So do you want to go with that?
Wait, you're saying that that like the Earth can't be used as like an inertial reference frame?
No, I'm saying that it is, and that a spinning ball is not. It's a non-inertial reference frame.
Explain how.
Because rotation is constant acceleration.
So if you point to like the center of mass of that object is...
What are you talking about?
Is that not like an inertial
What are you talking about?
The center
rotation,
of mass?
Okay,
wait,
so
are you not familiar with like the idea of a center of mass?
No, you just went off into the weeds. Rotation is constant acceleration because acceleration is change in velocity. Velocity is speed or direction. Rotation is constant change in direction. So that makes it a non-inertial reference frame where Newton's laws of motion do not apply. So an inertial reference frame, an example of one would be something that's not moving, something that's stationary. You said that the world is used as an inertial reference frame.
Right. They're inertial reference frames that we can use.
That's right. It doesn't. So there's no practical evidence that it's spinning around. Is what I'm getting at.
What do you mean?
Well, you said like what I meant. You were like, well, this doesn't work for large moving objects. Well,
I'm talking like in relative ideas, very large objects.
Finish my sentence, Bones.
And by very fast, I mean like
I guess I can't
magnitude like higher than like
a smokes, dude. You're just steamrolling. I'd like to finish my sentence, brother. But you were saying that it doesn't work for large moving objects. Well, what you need to do is prove that the Earth is a large moving object. So we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait till you can do that, or you can just tell us you can't.
So is steamrolling when I speak 1 to 2 sentences on one point?
No, it's just speaking before I've even got to the end of my sentence, and then you're just gonna keep going as if like kind of like right now.
I get interrupted.
Holy smokes, dude!
Like there's some double standards going on. Anyways, so yeah, we can use the Earth as an inertial reference frame.
Yeah, because there's no practical indication that it's spinning around or accelerating. So this is what I'm talking about.
No,
if you're going with Newton's laws of motion, you're going against the globe claim. So keep going.
No, I'm not going against the globe.
Yeah,
plane. How am I?
You just explain how you are, dude.
Bring your own globe tonight, is it?
No,
BYO globe.
how am I actually? Because
Just
that's
applicable in non-inertial reference frames.
Well, let's get to the, because you said the Earth is a large moving object. So is that something that you could prove or support?
The Earth itself is a large moving object.
Because that's what this is based off of, right? That's what we're trying to get. That we're trying to drill into the foundation. That the Earth, your claim is that the Earth is a large moving object. So instead of saying, well, it doesn't work, we would do, we could do calculations it works for large moving objects. Okay, well then you have to prove that the Earth is a large moving object first. Like the basket of loose cables, you got to plug it into power first, my man.
So no, going back to what I talked about with Newtonian physics, I don't need to show that the Earth is a large moving object to describe what Newtonian physics already can show.
Newtonian physics describes
all I need to say is that there's a much more massive
inertial reference frames. Newton's laws of motion describe motion in inertial reference frames, which a spinning ball would not be. So like I say, every time you invoke those, you're going against the spinning ball claim. You're not helping yourself.
So yeah, for small time frames, like talking about a small ball going towards the Earth, the rotation of the Earth is insignificant, so we don't need to.
Okay, so it's practically stationary.
We need to take into account the rotation of the Earth.
So it's practically stationary.
Look, you see how these claims are embedded in what you're saying. What we're trying to do is drill into those claims to either falsify them or verify them. But just restating the claims like, yep, the Earth is rotation, that's not actually getting us anywhere. We know that's the claim.
So
you've got a lot of fallacies going on there.
You don't need to know
we were looking
whether the Earth rotates because we don't.
Before we were looking for curvature. Before we were looking for curvature, you'll say, well, it is curvature because when I drop something, it goes to the center of mass because the Earth is curved. And now you're doing the same thing with the Earth moving. Now it's moving because, well, it's moving. The Earth moves, and it's large and it moves. You've got no evidence for this stuff.
Yeah, I think we have to hit him on his primary core claims. We need to do the 3 questions with him, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. He bounced out. I'm just going to rejoin.
Both of them left.
Well, his last statement was, we don't need to prove that it's rotating. Then what the hell are you doing here, man?
Exactly.
I know, he brings up a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like he brings up a bunch of stuff that he thinks are gotchas that go against his own claim. He doesn't even know that, and then he just keeps digging.
Oh, he left the server. Holy smokes.
The only reason you need to know. No. He left the server. Manga.
It's showing for me that he's still here, but maybe you guys could double check that.
Well, that's one heck of a spiral. Right off the server map.
Flip flop and all over the place, man. Poor guy. Damn, I feel bad.
Didn't work out how he thought.
Let me say it. He was a claim stacking, flip flopping flapjack.
Well, dude, it's like that's fine, but these guys they just don't understand that repeating the claims is not necessary. We know what the claims are, dude. So just telling us what your belief isn't doing anyone any favors. And like, go ahead.
He starts bringing up stuff that defeat his claims, right? And then he goes, oh, well, that's because the rotation is negligible. Okay, so how do you know it's there then? You're treating the Earth like it's practically stationary, right? So what rotation? Like, why did you bring any of this up?
Then he goes, well, we don't need to prove that it's rotating. Bro, what the fuck? Dude, seriously, what the hell? What can you prove, ding dong, if you're listening? Like, stick to things that you can prove. You heard him Googling stuff in the background. He tried to say, no, I already had Eratosthenes pulled up. No, you didn't. Liar.
So maybe I'm missing something, but the only reason these people need to know what down is because they have more than one celestial object, right? So they're thinking outside of Earth, and they're thinking that there's more celestial objects that have.
No, they're thinking. No, they're thinking down is relative to the center of mass.
Well, both.
Right, and the
both,
only reason you would need,
because it's
the only reason you would
three
need that
bodies
is because
problem.
there's more than one.
It's both. What you guys are saying is both true. Because like, don't they call it the 3-body problem? Right. You need to have 3 bodies to know if something's moving.
Yep.
If you're in outer space, so it's that. And then what Kim is saying is they're saying, well, my down is different from your down. So it's a little bit of both there. I don't understand why they can't just understand that down is the same for everyone. But why? B. Carl's went through it with him, and he's like still didn't get it.
Right, like why does a magnetic field happen? Like what necessitates a magnetic field happening? You know, doesn't.
Well, did you see what he did there though? He couldn't say, well, I don't know why. He said, why would I need to know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy.
He didn't care.
And meanwhile, the things before that, he was just kind of throwing things at the wall. Well, it was because of this. It's like, well, we can do that too. But it's like, would you accept that? No, he wouldn't accept that. Nor would he accept the whole, like, well, why do I need to know that?
The thing is, the whole thing with bringing up down is he's got a claim about how it works, right? Which I was trying to get him to the crux of that claim, which is that it's a globe that's pulling things to its center of mass, right? So at that point, we just need his curvature measurements, and of course, he just spiraled off of that as quickly as he could. He wanted to just go back to talking about things going down while we just ignore the basis of his argument.
This is a good example of people who ask questions they don't want the answer to. What he had was a little bit of a, and I mean, he seemed kind of nice. He didn't seem like a bad guy, but he had some rhetoric he was trying to push, masking it behind a question. He might as well just come out and said, well, if it was flat, blah, 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 it wouldn't work, yada, yada. But instead he was like, well, down.
CB, man,
what's that?
He was Googling it like half the time, man.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. I caught him, man. I said, dude, you're Googling that shit. And he's like, I heard him laughing.
You could hear the cactus in his voice.
We got a Google smart person in here, man. They're Google smart.
Google Earther.
I mean, they're smart. They can read quick. They can respond to you guys quick, but they really don't have any actual, life experience to say, man, does that match reality? Really? Is that really? No.
Can you say that?
But it's crazy they're going back to Newton, bro. It's almost like I was trying to think of an analogy, and the best thing I could come up with is like gaming consoles. So it's like, imagine you have I love that Xbox. You got an Xbox, fucking the newest one, and then somebody comes over like, hey man, you want to play on my Xbox like 360? You're like, no, we got the new shit. It's like, he's coming in here with the old console. Hey guys, got a PlayStation 1 here. It's like, dude, we're on PS5, bro. Like, take your PS1 and shove it where the light don't shine. I don't care.
That's a great comparison in reality, because we've all experienced that. Where you got the you got the 2000. I got the 1000, and you're like, oh shit, you suck, dude. Basically, right? Yeah, it's the same thing with computer. Why. That's the Moore's law, man. The computer power would double every 18 months. And
I'm gonna play devil's advocate here.
Bro, it's like,
I'm gonna say, I'll take the old Dodge Challenger over the new one.
Cars are different.
Hey,
I feel like cars are a little different.
I'll go with the old one too, man.
Classic.
Okay.
As I got older, I started to realize how cool older cars are. But it's just embarrassing. They feel confident enough to come here and talk about Newton. Dude, what the hell? He tried to explain the differences to us. Well, with Newton's, it's for smaller things.
Man, he was just Googling Newton gravity, he was pulling up stuff, different articles, whatever. He was skimming through it. He could understand it quick, but he's so young that he thinks he can figure it all out in like one day, And that's not.
Well, the pro tip, I think Heretic spotted this right away, but this is like a pro tip for the whole panel. Just spot where the claims are.
Yep.
Wherever there's a claim, all right, well, that's the claim. We'll hold you accountable.
Yeah, you got to put their cement shoes on them, man, when they make one claim.
Yeah.
You put those cement shoes on them and you stand them right there in the river and you go, all right, man, what's your claim? And just hold them to that. That's all you got to do, man. Hold them to that one claim.
You know, if he tried to run away from that
Don't
claim,
let him
though,
wish-wash over to gravity or something else. No.
he tried to run away from that, though, because he definitely said that gravity or down is towards the center of a mass, right? So he's invoking the globe with that, but then when we tried to hold him to the globe, later on he said, no, I just want to talk about Newtonian gravity, no globe involved, right? He tried to get rid of that part of the claim, but he definitely made that claim.
Yep.
Yep. And even right away when he was like, well, satellites and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, nope, stop. Satellites. That's the okay. So you got a claim there. Let's take a look. Wait, you didn't let me finish.
Satellites
No, you don't get to finish.
The spinning claim. Which claim you going with, man?
The
Gravity?
mind virus is real, which explains why so many people simply aren't.
Exactly. That's what I was thinking. So yeah, you just whatever claim it is, man. You got to put the cement shoes on them. Say, well, let's just stick with that. That's it, man. Let's crush that one.
Tags! What is your profession? See, old friend, I brought more soldiers than you did.